I got her. Oh my God. Brandon.
Oh my God.
Dude.
Son.
Look at that bass.
All right, guys, so on today's episode, we are heading to Orange Lake. It's right outside of Gainesville, Florida, and we're fishing with my good buddy, Trevor Fitzgerald. What's happening, buddy?
How are you?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Doing good.
Ready to go catch them?
I think we're gonna catch them.
All right,
I'm excited.
I know, me too. I'm jacked up. It's been a while, and new place I've never been to before, so it could be really good.
Yeah, the crazy thing is it's honestly been one of the best lakes in the state right now,
Yeah.
recently. I mean, for giants, you know,
Yeah.
we might not catch a lot of them, but the size is here and they're biting. So.
Yeah, I've been seeing a bunch of people winning tournaments taking 30, 35 pounds to win.
Yeah, in every single tournament, there's at least 1 or 2 over 10.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks ago, guys had 38 with 2 11s and came in second.
Jesus. Well, let's go get them.
Sounds good.
So I made a phone call to Trevor a few days ago because I had been seeing he was catching a few big ones, and he told me that it is absolutely on fire. He's caught multiple 8-pounders. He caught a 977. So I'm super jacked up from what I'm hearing to get out on the lake. All right, Trevor, we're here at Orange Lake and we got an overcast morning. I know they've been catching some big bags around here. What do you got in mind for us?
So I think this morning we'll start with some topwater and chatterbait. You know, I have an area that's been really good. I came up here Tuesday and caught one in the 9s, you know, on a topwater, and I think with the cloud cover and the conditions we have, it could be pretty good because every morning, you know, you have like a good bite window early, and then it kind of slacks off, and whenever it slacks off, what we'll do is we'll just transition to like a flipping bite, just flipping clumps or mats of hydrilla and stuff, you know, especially when the sun gets out, they find cover. But I'm excited. I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my favorite 2 ways to catch a bass on a topwater and picking up a big weight. So we'll go see what we can make happen.
Absolutely.
All right, Trevor, so we just started. It seems like we got this big hydrilla flat, and you said that the fish might be moving out from spawning and moving out to the deeper waters, kind of what we're moving into the transition period.
Yeah, it's been so hot here recently. You know, I think all the fish that spawned in that big bay in there, and they're wanting to get out to deeper water. And there's been a lot of bait in this area too. A lot of shad, a lot of big brim and stuff. The brim are spawning right now, so it's kind of been like a stopping point for them, you know, like on the way to deeper water. I mean, it's crazy to think, there's one right there that blew up. It's crazy to think, you know, in Florida, when you talk about deeper water, like 8 foot versus 6, you know, but a lot of times, well, it makes a big difference, especially when we're getting, you know, those high 90, 100-degree days. I mean, extra foot or 2 makes a big difference for the really big ones. I don't think the small ones care as much as the big ones, but it definitely makes a difference.
Well, we're gonna work through here and do a little bit of topwater and chatterbait and see if we can get one to fire off. So when we got to the ramp this morning, Trevor was kind of concerned about the overcast skies and windy. We were looking for bluebird skies and sun and not much wind for this fishery. In the morning, we were gonna fish those topwater fish on that slick calm condition out over those hydrilla mats, and it was kind of hard to see the mats, and you kept throwing your topwater into the mat. So we made a little bit of a few adjustments, and then when that sun got up, everything really came to life. Ooh. Smoked it again.
I don't think that one's coming off.
That bite is just so good on that dang spook.
Well, what's crazy is like both bites this morning, they try it for the first time and miss it, and you throw it back in there and they get it every time. That little guy wanted that thing bad. He's small, but gosh, that's fun.
Yeah, it is, absolutely.
It's hard to beat a topwater bite like that.
Yep. Well, it seems usually you want the overcast and the wind for that casting bite, but the sun just came out and it's really came to life. I mean, we're seeing big ones blow up. You had a big one on that topwater there pretty quick. So maybe that sun will help us.
Yeah, it started slow. I think on this lake right now with this hydrilla, when that sun comes out, the brim get near this hydrilla, and the big ones can see the brim and they start hunting, because just like you said, I mean, as soon as that sun came out, everything came to life. I mean, we saw nothing happening this morning, and all of a sudden the sun comes out. You see the brim, you see the shad.
Things changed very quickly there. in about, it was like literally a light switch. It went from nothing to just big ones blowing up, and we'll work out here back to where we started it and hopefully catch a big one.
One of the biggest issues with, you know, a lot of our lakes and rivers, for example, like the St. Johns River, is the lack of vegetation. And it's, you can't say it's just one thing. You know, a lot of people want to say it's the spraying, okay? The spraying does affect it. But for example, a place like Lake Okeechobee, you know, where the water rises with all the hurricane water, what ends up happening is it's not the spray that's killing the vegetation, it's the high, dirty water. The vegetation can't get sunlight. And that's exactly what happened on the St. Johns River a few years ago. And there's big efforts, you know, to make the grass, or actually get the grass to grow back at the St. Johns. And the water, we just need stable water levels, you know, and it'll come back, but it would be a lot better if we could get more vegetation. And it just goes to show what vegetation can do, especially fishing a place like Orange Lake here. The lake is full of grass. It's not overran with grass. It's not an issue to get around, but it's got, you know, the perfect amount of grass. So we need more vegetation. It definitely helps the bass fishing.
Well, that didn't take long.
No. Well, hydrilla bass. Man, that stuff's thick. Set the hook on that thing and they just bury up.
There ain't much better sound than that right there, though.
Little guy. It's a start, though.
So with that grass being just a few inches under the water, or sometimes a foot, I was really having to burn that chatterbait to get those bites and not get it tangled up in the grass. So I would cast it out there and crank it almost as fast as I could, and you could almost see the chatterbait waking on the surface. But when you saw a big blow up and casted that thing to it, 90% of the time this morning, they ate that chatterbait if we were in casting range, just burning that thing right under the surface and getting that reaction bite. God, that's a big one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one there.
He's got me buried up.
Can we go to him?
I got him out.
Got him coming up?
God, he freaking wrecked that thing.
Man, that's a fun bite. Oh, still got him?
Glad I brought this a little bit heavier rod. Yeah, I got him still.
You reach out and grab him?
Yeah, I grab him. Oh, there's a little bit better one.
Better fish there.
He absolutely wrecked that chatterbait.
Slacklined it.
Oh man, that was fun.
Right off that mat, huh?
Yep. That's where I seen that one blow up when we were back there a little ways.
Okay, yeah.
We're bound to run into a big one any second now.
For sure.
They are definitely biting this morning. Crazy, it came to life, and those fish are just, I mean, I'm rolling this chatterbait, and they're really active right now chasing those bait fish. I think that's why I'm burning it across the surface right above that hydrilla, and they're eating it. Well, Trevor, we got the sun, and we're throwing the chatterbait and the topwater, and it seems like we're getting a ton of bites. I mean, that's 5 or 6 good bites we've had in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, they're definitely biting right now. I mean, we still got that morning bite happening, and like you said, that sun came out and changed everything. That chatterbait bite's so fun. I mean, I don't even want to put this topwater down because I know any second a 10-pounder could jump up and get this thing, but if you keep catching them on that chatterbait, I'm probably gonna switch up.
So this morning we started out throwing that big spook in a 3/8 ounce jackhammer chatterbait, and the fish were really feeding. They were moving around, and that lasted for about an hour. Well, when everything settled and we quit seeing the blow-ups, that told us right then that the fish moved into the mats. So we picked up the big sticks, and we really didn't put them down for the rest of the day. We stayed in, flipping that thick vegetation. Those fish will move from that open water under those mats. For one, it's cooler down under those mats with the shade, and for two, all those brim go in there to feed on minnows. So that was a big key, was getting that right transition time to get those big bites. Got him.
Big one. Go to him, Brandon. It's a big one.
Flipped right in there behind me, didn't he? Oh man, gosh. Yeah. Hey, dang giant right there, buddy.
Get out and grab her for me, Brandon.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Come here.
Yes.
That is a hammer, son.
God. Look at that one, son. Dude, look how good she's hooked too.
Absolute toad. That's what you come here for right there. Right.
That's an Orange Lake special there.
Golly, what a hammer.
They get way bigger than that here too. Man, that fight's fun. 7/8 heavy flipping stick. When you set the hook on those things, they give you everything that you want.
Oh, what an absolute hammer.
That was fun. That thing went 12 inches down. I mean, slack line, thumped it, set the hook, and I'm telling you, in this hydrilla, it's everything you want. It's so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems like they're starting to key in on these little clumps. We should be able to work down through here and get some good bites.
Now that we've had a couple hours of this sun being out, it's turning on. It's gonna be good. It's already good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So our productive tactic today was flipping that hydrilla, and then, you know, it's little mushroom plumes of hydrilla or big mats of hydrilla. And what makes that really productive is it's a reaction bite. You know, that fish is hunkered up in that grass or sitting on the edge of it, hunting for a brim or anything that swims by. And when that big 1.5 ounce weight comes flying in there, it's a reaction. I mean, 9 times out of 10, these big ones we catch are gonna be on the very first fall, and it's gonna be within a foot or two of the surface. So flipping is just a great tactic no matter where you go. If you got vegetation, you got laid down wood, docks, flipping is a great way to get some big bass.
Oh my God. Oh God, dang, son, biggin'. Oh, that thing is pulling, boy. This is a giant right here. Absolute giant. Stay hooked, baby. Stay hooked.
Just in that clump.
Keep letting it drift, so I'll grab it right here. How deep?
Can't even see her.
Hopefully it's not a mudfish going in after her.
I don't think it's a mudfish.
It's fucking deep, deep.
Got her?
I don't know.
Hmm?
I'm trying. Feel her.
Grab her mouth.
I'm trying to find it.
Oh Lord, son.
Son. Son. Ah, dog. Had to go in for that one. That
Let me hold that.
Absolute giant, son.
Look at that. Orange Lake special right there.
My God. Had to go in after that one.
Look at all the hydrilla in her. Dude, this fish is heavy.
Yeah, that's a freaking hammer, son.
That's an 8-pounder, I bet. No flipping stick.
Yep.
1.5 ounce, 65 braid. That's what you gotta have on a lake like this right now.
Absolutely. That is a freaking absolute
You gotta have your stuff right and tight when you flip a beaver in this hydrilla right now.
You see that thing was dogging you like a dang grouper.
Yeah. Let's weigh this one. It's gotta be an 8-pounder. 840.
Absolute freaking hammer, son.
That's a nice one. We're gonna get her back to swim and live and be caught another day. Dude, what a fish.
Absolutely.
When you set the hook, it was all I could do. Honestly, you don't even try to fight them. You just try to hold on.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it.
So Orange Lake has a variety of things to offer, whether it be lily pads, submerged vegetation, matted out hydrilla, pennywort. But when I talked to Trevor, we're going to flip matted hydrilla, and that's one of my favorite things to do. Picking up a big rod, big diamond braid, and being able to really fish that thick vegetation, because it's a battle when you're fishing that. You're not fishing out in the open water, you're fishing the thickest stuff you can find, and when you hook that fish, you got to do everything in your power to get him out of that mat. It sounded big.
It feels big. It's just buried up.
Yeah. All right. Going in after another one.
Hang on, Brandon, let me give it slack.
Go that way. Yeah, I got the line. Go to the left a little bit.
I see her tail.
I got her, I think. Her head's buried. Going in after him. My God.
Would they get in there?
I mean, deep. Nice little chunker. God dang, they're going deep in there today. Old Orange Lake flipping bass. So flipping hydrilla, basically what you have is a mat of thick grass, and it can be from 6 inches to 8 inches, but when your bait goes through there with that 1.5 ounce, it's really a reaction bite. So that bait falls through the mat and they're thinking it's a brim or a shad or something like that, so they instantly bite it. Especially today, right when that thing went in, you didn't have to yo-yo it or anything. It went in and that reaction bite occurred immediately. Yeah, Trevor, we're using some really big tackle for these fish. I mean, when they get in this hydrilla, you really got to pull on them hard.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got, 65-pound braid, a super heavy cover hook, and 1.5 ounce weight here. And I mean, like we were talking earlier, I mean, it feels like a grouper setup.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's something you could honestly go shallow water grouper fishing with, but that stuff is thick and these fish are large. And when they get bound up in it, you need everything we have.
Yeah, absolutely.
To get them out.
And if you get one of those toothy little pickerel, they won't bite off your $15 tungsten weight.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so on today's episode, we kept it pretty simple. We had 3 key baits throughout the day. Starting off the morning, Trevor was slinging around this big spook. This is just a chartreuse back. It was really key to keep this thing in a tight walk to get those bites. We really wanted the sun and kind of a calmer condition, and we had a little bit of a chop. So I stuck with throwing the 3/8 ounce jackhammer chatterbait. This is a missile D-bomb we had on the back of it, and I was really burning this thing over the submerged hydrilla. I was keeping it up high in the water column for those feeding fish and caught quite a few fish on that this morning. And as the morning progressed, we picked up the big weight and really went to work flipping. This is a 1.5 ounce G-Shield tungsten, a 4/0 super heavy cover Gamakatsu hook, and a tramp stamp kinky beaver. It's a really good bait for flipping. Looks just like a brim. That's what we were fishing. The brim were in those mats, sucking and eating the shad and minnows and things like that. So we were trying to imitate that brim as that bait fell in there. And most of the time the fish would eat it right on the fall. All rigged with 65-pound diamond braid. That's very key for getting them fish out of that thick hydrilla mat. A 7/6 heavy rod and an 8-to-1 gear ratio reel is very key. So today I was using a Daiwa Tatula 8-to-1 100. This is very important to pull that bait out of the water and have a really fast reel back to the boat so it doesn't hit the mat again and you can make a flip immediately back in there. And on the chatterbait, this is my go-to. I brought a little bit heavier rod today just because I knew what kind of vegetation we were going to be flipping. This is a 7/4 frog rod actually, so it's got a little bit more backbone, and again 65-pound braid to really get those fish out of that thick vegetation. Trevor was catching some big fish in the morning. I even at one point flipped in there and missed. He flipped right behind me and catch an 8-pounder, and it was coming midday. I really had to put my head down and grind because I don't like getting beat, and I knew I was only 1 bite away from it being an epic day, not just for both of us, but for me especially. I mean, this place, any flip can be a giant. So I put my head down and I grinded through it and was rewarded with some good bites. Look at the tail on that one, boy.
Just go to her, I'll reach out and get it for you.
Oh my gosh,
Brandon.
Trevor. Oh my God.
Hang on.
Come on, big girl.
Oh my God. Brandon.
Oh my God.
Dude.
Son.
Look at that bass.
That's probably my biggest one ever. I'm dead serious. We're gonna have to put her on the scale real quick.
That's for sure a 10, maybe an 11.
My God.
Look how thick she is. Look at her eyeballs. They're just bigger than a quarter.
Dude, she battled me all the way until you got your hands on her too.
I had to get down and dig her out of that hydrilla.
My God.
This stuff is so thick, and my gosh, I mean, she was hooked so good. Dude.
That is a freaking toad,
Hold your
son.
possible PB. I'll get the scale.
Oh my God.
That's a handful, son.
10.2 is the biggest one I ever caught.
It's bigger than that. It's a 12.8, dude. You caught a 12 pounder. Here, hold her.
Holy
Dude, you caught a 12 pounder.
Oh my God.
Flipping hydrilla on Orange Lake.
Holy
That's why we come out here and do
yeah,
that.
that is it.
That is an absolute toad.
I rode the struggle all day too and finally just caught an absolute hammer.
It was worth it.
Yes, sir.
So Florida Trophy Catch is ran by the state. FWC heads it up, and it's a citizen science program where if you catch a bass, anything over 8 pounds, you weigh it on the scale, you take a picture of it hanging on the scale, and you submit it. And there's prizes. You can win gift cards to Bass Pro Shops, you can win rods, reels, all kinds of different stuff. And at the end of the year, you're entered to have a chance to win a brand new boat also. But what's really neat about that is, like, for example, today, Brandon caught a 12 pounder that's gonna be submitted to Florida Trophy Catch. And now the state and the biologists can see all the effort they've put into Orange Lake in the last few years, that it's working. I mean, you can go on to Florida Trophy Catch and see a lot of submissions are coming out of Orange Lake and Lochloosa Lake because they're connected. But that's just incredible. I mean, it's been a long time since I saw a 12 pounder hanging on the scale, so I'm happy for Brandon. That's honestly a fish of a lifetime.
So it was another epic day out on the water with my good buddy Trevor Fitzgerald. Being able to catch a 12 pounder and a ton of big fish is something special, and I can't wait to get back out there and do it again.